Yo, what's up? It's your girl Shantae. I'm back with another video yet again. Look, I hope you guys have been doing really good. I took a break from YouTube in January to plan out what I want to do for February, because February will be a very high-speed month for me, because it will be the month before I take a self-care hiatus from social media. So I want to get out as much content as I can, so I don't leave you guys hanging, and so y'all don't forget about me and eventually unsubscribe and just get out of my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to leave me. So my birthday is Saturday. My birthday is February 13th. Today is the 8th of February, so my birthday in a few days. So this video will be me giving you guys 20 things that I've learned in the first 20 years of my life, because I'm about to be 20. I forgot to mention that. I'm about to be 20, so I'm going to give y'all 20 things that I've learned so far in my 20 years of life. Mainly these are lessons, really nothing really like to agree or disagree with, but this is stuff that life has taught me in the first 20 years of my life, and I want to share these things with you. Most of these things I'm going to get a little deep into, but the other half of it I'm not really going to get too deep into. I'm just going to say it, but majority I'm going to explain what I mean. Some of it is kind of straight to the point, so I really won't have to. Before we get into this video, please like, comment, subscribe, show some love to me as I'll show love to you guys. So yeah, let's get into it. I don't have no complete order. This is just things that I have learned, honestly, in my life. The first thing I wrote on this list is to not give up when there's obstacles around, you know, to keep persevering, to keep going, not to be a giver-upper, a sore loser when things start to get hard. This showed its way, or played its role in my life, because I have been this close, you know what I'm saying, and gave up on something that was this close. I was this close to receiving, or I feel like I would never get to it, and as soon as I gave up, I learned that it was this close, you know. So ever since the situation that happened with me, like that happened, I learned that keep going, you know, never give up on the things that you set your mind to, for it could be this close, you know. Number 2, I have patience. I won't get emotional. I mean, I'm a very emotional person. I'm an Aquarius, but I don't think I'm gonna get emotional in this. But this is really something that plays as a staple in my life, honestly. Patience. I really wouldn't be okay right now. I wouldn't be me, be able to, you know, sit and talk and look at myself without understanding that everything takes time. You can't really rush anything. You can't really force what God has is planned for already, what God has planned for us already. So I learned to be patient and trust the flow of life is the flow of life, you know what I'm saying? To do things and live with no regrets, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned to allow time to take its time, because good things come to people who wait, and I look at myself as a good person, so I deserve good things. As you know, I learned that I deserve good things. There's another thing I learned, but that's not on my list. But let's get into number 3. Number 3 is another big groundbreaking lesson that I've learned: to only say things that I mean, and to not say things that I don't mean, especially people that I care about. I don't want to get deep into that, but I just feel like, you know, I learned about the power of the tongue. I learned about how powerful words are, whether they hurt or not. So everything that you should say should be meaningful. And if you don't mean it, don't say it. Even if it's like a part of your reaction that you're giving, you shouldn't say anything that you don't mean. Whether it's to people that you care about, people you don't care about, you know what I'm saying? If you don't mean it, don't say it, you know. That kind of flows into the next one. Number 4, not everything deserves a reaction, and not everything needs a reaction. Honestly, if you knew me before, like, I started my spiritual journey, or before I started to humble myself, or I don't feel like I humbled myself, God humbled me. Honestly, he humbled me, like grounded me completely. You would know that I used to give reactions all the time, you know what I'm saying? I used to freak out. You know, I used to react to everything, whether it was verbally, physically. I used to make sure I was heard if I felt a way. I feel like the most powerful thing, like to most powerful reaction is no reaction at all, honestly. Like the most powerful thing is silence. You know, people hate when you don't talk back. You know, people hate when they're not getting under your skin. So don't allow them to see, you know, don't let them think they getting anything from you. That's something I'm on right now. You know, if things start to hurt me, I don't really like to show it. I'm gonna speak on it, but I'm not gonna let you, you know, you're not gonna get the full reaction, like, you know, crashing out and wanting to fight and shit like that. That ain't coming out of me no more. But number 5, I learned to keep a positive mindset even when I'm surrounded by negative energy. Even when I don't have these on me, I still feel like I'm protecting my energy. I feel like, you know, whenever I notice that something is getting too bad for me or too negative for me, I have to walk away. Like, it's, you know, and that's probably the best thing, because usually I'll stay around this stuff and I'll allow it to fuel my fire, you know, and eventually react or say things I don't mean. So, you know, definitely that's staying positive, a positive mind. I learned how to keep a positive mind in the midst of buku negativity, like, you know, buku negativity. And I was taught this as a kid, to treat people, number 6, treat people how I want to be treated, you know, but I don't know why, probably because I was a very selfish person. I didn't know the value of that. I didn't really care about it, you know what I'm saying? I used to treat people any type of way because I knew that they were going to treat me with love, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I wasn't going to get that back, so I just was treat. And that's my reminder to drink water, I'm sorry. But you know, treat people how you want to be treated. It kind of goes in with like me learning about karma also, because everything I'm learning that life is like a boomerang, you know, it's like a reflection, like a mirror. Whatever you pour out comes right back to you. So, you know, I just learned that, and I felt how me treating people unkindly or me treating people like trash, the world brought it back to me, you know. Not even by people treating me like trash back. It happened, but the world just showed me how they felt in a different way, in a different light. I learned the power of what goes around comes around. That's number 6. Number 7, I learned to love myself fully and wholeheartedly. I learned to put myself first. Do you understand me? I learned to love myself. And I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't learn that until I turned 19, until year 19. I learned to love myself after, honestly, acknowledging the hate that I had for myself. I really had a strong hate for myself. I didn't really care about my well-being. It was just kind of like I was going with the flow in a negative way. Like, I was just living life without a purpose. I was just doing, you know, I was living life half-assed, you know what I'm saying? Like, backwards, you know? So one day I just woke up. I'm not even gonna say just woke up, but I don't want to go into detail about what happened the day that I found out that I didn't love myself, but I was broken and no one else could fix me. I learned that no one else could fix me. I was looking for me, for the help, for the love, for myself in other people, and I just realized that it's no one else in this world that'll be able to understand what exactly I'm feeling, and I don't want to be understood, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be completely understood, but I understand myself, you know what I'm saying? So when I started to realize, and that was during quarantine, you know, you're gonna always hear about my quarantine times, but a lot of like my self-love and my self-discovery stuff was during quarantine, during my, you know, solitude time. So when I had that time to myself, it was just like, you know, I just found out that everything that I was saying, only I knew about, only I would be able to heal on my own. So I had to realize that it was the love that I didn't have for myself that was missing. Self-love. I can go on and on about self-love, y'all, because it's really, I love myself. I do love myself. I love myself fully. Like, girl, look at me. My hair look a mess, but I still love myself, you know? There's nothing that I can do wrong in my eyes anymore. Now that I know, you know, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Number 8. I learned this early on, like middle school, but you know, it's gonna always play its role. it's gonna always come back up. Not everyone has good intentions. That's not really the lesson. The thing that I learned was to keep a good heart, even when there's people with ill intentions in my circle or in my life, you know, because not everybody's gonna live with the same heart as me. Not everybody's gonna live with the same morals, but you know, they come into your life for a reason. So just trust that God put them there for something, even if they have bad intentions. You know, just turn a cheek with a good heart, you know. So I just learned to keep my positivity pure, keep my heart pure, even when I'm surrounded by negativity. All right, number 9, everything happens for a reason. So I tell my little sister about this all the time. I tell my friends too, but my little sister, you know, she's thirteen, she's in her growing stage, and I was talking to her, I tell her about this, like this thing, I made like an ideology about a circle, how the world is like a circle, you know, and I'm learning, like anytime I talk about my life, I talk about a circle, because I'm learning that everything comes back full circle. Well, it might not make sense at the time, like if something's happening to you, it might not make sense, but in like a year or maybe months or weeks after that situation happens, God always, he never fails to put something better in front of you. Do you understand? Like, and at one point in my life, I lost something great. And you know, I always lose great things, you know, but this one situation I didn't understand, you know, completely. I understood, but I didn't want it to happen. I wasn't accepting it. But once I accepted that situation happened at the time that it did, and that it happened, period, everything just started, like, it was like doors just started opening in my life, like doors of happiness, you know. So me understanding that everything is everything, that everything happens for a reason, I feel like it opened freedom for me, because I started to understand that everything happens for a reason. Nothing is just gonna happen just because, like, dots are always gonna connect. It's gonna bring you right back full circle. You're gonna be like, wow, like this makes so much sense, like years later, like, you know. So everything happens for a reason. Number 10, remain humble and stay true to who I am. Like I told y'all, I used to be real like rude. I don't know if anybody watching this, you probably wouldn't be watching this if you knew me when I was rude, but at one point I felt like I was like the shin diggity. Like I could do no wrong, like you couldn't tell me nothing. Like looking back on it, like I see why people stopped talking to me. I see why people left my life. Like once my humbling stage started, I started to realize that I knew that it was me being egoistic, being a person that I wasn't to impress other people, really, because I knew who I was deep inside, but I was afraid to be my genuine self for acceptance. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta be honest with ourselves sometimes. Like, I really didn't want people to see me for who I really was, because I thought it was, you know, I didn't think that was the right way to go, surrounded by people that I was surrounded by. But I learned to stay true to who I am. This is probably the best thing that I've ever learned. This is probably my favorite one out of each of these. But and understanding that there is space to fall, that I'm not at the top, you know what I'm saying? I'm not there. So staying grounded and staying true to who I am, the genuine me, not the ego that I put out for the world to see, but who I really am, you know. So number 11. So I've been learning this, y'all. I've been learning this, to not let other people's opinions change my thought process. I'm putting emphasis on opinions about me or about my life. I'm a very private person, but I will admit that I do give people room to criticize, or room to dictate, or room to put their opinions on, you know, the opinion board or whatever. But I learned that hearing opinions can, you know, sometimes opinions do kind of, you know, sway me a little bit, but it never changes me. It never changes how I'm thinking. It never changes like what I actually want to do. I had to learn, like, because sometimes I'll take people's opinions and it be the wrong thing. You know, we all make mistakes. You know, we all have times when we have to learn, but sometimes I'll take people's opinion and it'll be the wrong thing. So I always think to go with my own thought process, or my own move. Like, I don't necessarily like to get opinions. Like, I'm not like, no, like, but I rather, if I feel something, if I want something, I'm gonna go with my opinion. Like, I'm gonna go with me, you know, whatever I'm thinking, regardless of if people like it or not. Like, I'm living for me, no one else. So number 12, I learned how to not let people control my emotions, how to not let people control what I feel. Okay, so I don't really know where I learned this from. I honestly think I just came up with it on my own. I feel that it's true to say that no one can control you, period. You know, no one can control the feelings that you have besides you. Let me break it down. So if you're the person that feels, you know, and you have people in your life who manipulate and influence the feelings that you feel, but no one is literally making you feel what you're feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're with somebody, you're allowing yourself to feel loved by them. You're allowing yourself to accept love from them. Does that make sense? Like you're allowing love in. You're saying, yes, I want this. This is what I want. Because somebody could be giving you love and you could say no. Like you could be rejecting it, period. Like, but everything that you feel is influenced by people, but allowed by yourself. So with that, you know, running through my mind 24/7, I know not to blame people for making me mad, quote unquote, or making me sad or whatever. Like I kind of look at myself, you know, I evaluate the entire situation. But moving forward, number 13. Y'all, I don't know if y'all can hear this in the camera, but my stomach is toe up. But I'm talking about, it is rumbling. I don't know what is going on up in there. I learned how to effectively express my emotions, or not my emotions. I learned how to effectively express myself. I read emotions out the next line, I'm sorry. So basically with that, I learned how to, whenever I'm feeling a way, how to not take that anger out or feel that feeling out on anybody else, but how to like evaluate on my own, you know, and then talk or whatever. Because what I had a problem with in the past was expressing my feelings while they were still running hot. So if I'm, you know, I'm mad about something, I would talk as soon as I hear about the situation or I hear about it, and I wouldn't give myself time to think about anything. I didn't think before I said anything. So that goes hand in hand with saying things I don't mean, because I had a bad habit of just speaking irrationally and out of spite and not even thinking about what I'm saying before I said it. I lost a lot of good things because of that, a lot of good people. So that's another big star lesson, something I can't go back to. You know, I like to, now what I do, being that I meditate a lot, I like unconsciously meditate when I'm mad, like in public. Like I take like, you know, do y'all hear my stomach? I will mindfully breathe instead of thinking. You know, I think after I'm calm. Like I don't like to express my feelings while I don't even know what I'm feeling. Like, you know, I want to get it understood first. So I learned this next one in middle school, probably, yeah, middle school, when I was trying to, you know, middle school is kind of when you like identifying what type of person you want to be, and high school is when you like throw it out. But in middle school, I learned how to be different. I've always wanted to be a different type of person. I didn't know what was going to be my spark. I knew that I wanted to be different. I knew that I didn't want to be a part of like a clique or whatever. I wanted to stand out, like, so I had to find like what was going to be my difference, what was going to be something that people know me for. Like, I think my difference, you know, is my heart, you know, and I learned how to, you know, y'all, I don't even know, and I keep saying, you know, but I just learned how to be different. You know, that's one I think that's really important, to be different, to stand out. That goes with number 15, how I learned to be okay with not being included, to be okay with myself, to be okay with, you know, being alone. I'm still kind of, you know, getting away from like attachment from people. Before it was terrible. Yeah. I had like a bad thing with like feeling like I had to be around somebody to be happy. That's not here anymore. The being around somebody to be happy thing is not here anymore. Completely not. It's dead as hell after quarantine, baby, because I love being by myself now. I love, you know, sitting in the room by myself, you know, listening to music. I don't really have to be with anybody, have no company. I'm good with being by myself now. Number 16, I learned how to take criticism. Sheesh. But you couldn't tell me nothing at one point. Like, I didn't want to hear nothing you had to say. Like, you think I'm being mean? Get the fuck down. You think I'm rude? Why you still in my face? You couldn't tell me nothing. I didn't want to hear nothing from nobody. Like, you know, I didn't know how to hear nobody telling me what was wrong with me. You know, I didn't want to hear that shit at all. Like, now I hear it and I take it as okay. I think that criticism is someone telling you that they care about you. Because I give constructive criticism to people that I care about, to, you know. So if somebody's telling me something about me, it's clearly something that they see as a problem that might affect me further on in life. So I take it, you know, I take it and I take consideration of it, and I try to change it if it's something I could change or alter it, because I'm not gonna change for nobody, period. I'm just kidding. Number 17, I learned that healing is an actual process. Please listen to this. I learned, I know about the healing process, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna get over it in like a year. Psych! But I learned that healing actually takes time, and that it may never happen. You just kind of learn how to adapt to things in life, because we're healing into the day we die. So you just kind of adapt to your new life with whatever you're healing from, with whatever you kind of learn how to adapt with your life without having whatever you're healing from. So, you know, yeah, healing is an actual process. We heal into the day we die, you know. So number 18, I learned that life is more than surviving. You have to live life. I'm such a serious person. I used to take my life way too serious. I didn't want to have fun because, you know, I was always trying to be serious. You know, if you know me in high school, you know, I was never at parties. I was never out and whatever, because I wasn't really into living life. I was more about surviving. So I learned I'm missing out on a lot of gems, a lot of, you know, milestones, because I'm not living. So, well, I wasn't living. You know, this is something like this right now. This is me living, because I have always wanted to do YouTube, but I took it, you know, I took myself way too serious. I feel like it was too much fun time. I didn't want to have fun. I feel like I didn't deserve too much fun. But yeah, life is more than surviving. It's all about, you know, living. Number 19, I learned to see things from all perspectives. This is big. If you know me, I'm saying if you know me, y'all know, you gonna know me now. My spirit animal is a hawk. Hawks fly high and see low. They see life for the bigger picture, not just what's happening in front of them. They see everything, high and low. Well, I was a person who only looked at what's right in front of me, not what's happening, what's the bigger picture out of this. I looked at situations that hurt me as only situations that hurt me, not situations that were going to build me to be the person that I am right now. Like in the past, I was like, there's no way I'm going to survive from this. You know, I learned to see things from different people's shoes, how they could possibly think, how could they possibly feel. I learned to not be so selfish with life, you know, not to be so selfish as a person too, when it came to feeling, because I only cared about how I felt. I never cared about anybody else feeling, to be honest. I was really a selfish person, y'all. Y'all probably not didn't believe me, but I was really selfish. But yeah, I learned to see things in different perspectives, to, you know, see the bigger picture out of things, to stand in other people's shoes and see how would I feel if that shit was happening to me? Like, how would I feel if somebody was talking to me like that? Or, you know, so. And I just started to understand everything after I learned to get it out of my shoes and, you know, step in somebody else's. Okay, final countdown. Y'all about to be 20. Like, hold up. I'm about to be 20 years old. Like, I'm done with my teens. I'm still 19 right now, but I'm about to be 20. That's crazy. Okay. By the time this video come out, I'll be 20. Number 20. I learned to accept things for what they are. I learned that dwelling on the past gets you nowhere. Dwelling on what happened, what could have, what would have, what should have, gets you nowhere. And to just accept that whatever is happening is supposed to, or who's ever doing it are supposed to, you know. I learned to accept life for what it is. You're not gonna catch me slipping, hold up. As a child, I grew up very spoiled. So I feel like a lot of things were supposed to happen for me. I feel like I wasn't supposed to hear no or rejection. I was very against rejection. I feel like rejection was basically people telling me they hate me and it hurt me. But I learned that all of this kind of come together. Like everything happens for a reason. You know, if I'm rejected by something or somebody, I'm supposed to be like, it's, you know, it's a sign, or, you know, God is protecting me from it. So getting out of that mindset of this is supposed to happen, I'm supposed to get this, I better get this, really helped me from the constant pain of like, whenever I get told no, I'm sad. So I just learned to accept things for what they are. That it is what it is thing, you know what I'm saying? Okay guys, that was 20 things that I've learned in my first 20 years of life. Wish me happy birthday. Love you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends, period. As always, I'm sending you love and light. Peace out.